Today, as y'all know, if you went to the community tab, I have a video based off of philosophy, life advice, and thought-provoking questions. So today, that's exactly what we're going to do today. But y'all know what I'm talking about. So we're going to get into the video. For those who don't know or who are new to my channel, in the community tab, let me try to see if I can show y'all. In the community tab up there, this is where I ask all types of questions, or I, I share vids for the channel. I share my social medias. I share my music, that's my songs, you know what I'm saying, all that. And for the people who like my music, I dropped a new song on Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, all of that stuff. Go check it out. Shameless plug. Okay, so let's get straight into the video. Y'all might be hearing noises because it's daytime. Niggas be loud. It's the morning, 9 a.m. So let's get straight into the video. Number 1, by Creative Juice. I once heard that we walk past a serial killer at least 11 times in our life. How many times do you think we walk past the perfect person for us? Or how about a possible best friend? How many opportunities do we miss just by not being there at the right time? I always think about this. What if I just wasn't there at the right time? That could have been me. I could have did this. I could have met this. I could have did that. I always think about that. But that's not the right time because it's not your time. If it was the right time, it would have been presented to you. It would have benefited you. It would have been in your life. And you never know. That time can come later in life. Later in life. But the whole serial killer thing, that's just statistics of serial killers, of like how many there actually are. So using statistics, they're like, since in the general population there's this many of them, at least this many times you might walk past them and not know it. That doesn't mean everybody actually is, or that I don't know, that's the case. I guess it fluctuates too, so I don't know why that's supposed to be like some huge thing. But as opposed to that, the best friend, the perfect person, we probably walk past that more than the serial killer, because that's not the normal. That's not the typical person. That's not a neurotypical type of person. So neurotypical is like, you don't have like disorders and stuff, pretty much. Yeah, so most functioning people, you walk by every single day, every single second. Your neighbors, niggas walking their dog at 2 a.m. 2 a.m., damn, I hope nobody doing that at 6 a.m. So, yeah. My apologies for clearing my throat. It's just a little bothersome right now. Now next, 5111 says, do you guys pronounce it Stephen Hawking or Stephen Hawking? Is that a plane I hear? It's far away this time. And do you guys say Stephen Hawking or Stephen? I say Stephen. In a Stephen Hawking book, he said that inside every black hole, there's a singularity where time itself ends. It took my mind a while to comprehend that, but the more I thought, I came to a conclusion. We're already inside a black hole, what we call life, and all the feelings we've ever felt and people we've ever met, nature itself and our feelings are that singularity. Just a thought. It is nice. And I could have something to say, but I did skim these questions, and there's something I want to answer with what I want to answer. So for now, we're just gonna say that is a very nice thought, and I'm not gonna try to discredit Mr. Hawking, but he truly doesn't know. He hasn't been inside a black hole. He truly doesn't actually know. This is just all hypothetical. This is all science related. This is all research related. So maybe it's true. Maybe there's a lot more to black holes we don't know, since that's literally like dark matter and shit, nothingness or whatever. So yeah, it seems possible. It seems like it is. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, everything's pretty much singular. It's like for example, I guess you could say a tree. A tree. If you look at the roots of a tree, it it what's the word? It compares greatly to our nervous system, like the vines, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you look at a tree, a map of a tree or a picture of a tree, and look at the roots and all the shits in the roots, it kind of resembles our nervous system in a way, as do other things and other creations. So it's possible that everything, is modeled after the same thing, modeled after one main nervous system, modeled after one main this, that. So, hey. Next up is Pi. I like your name. Pi. Does everything happen for a reason? Oh, by the way, I will be doing some triggers while I'm talking. Does everything happen for a reason? Or do we find reasons after things happen? Does free will exist? Or is every action predetermined? So, 1. Does everything happen for a reason? Or do we find reasons after things happen? Everything does happen for a reason, but there's 2 ways you can go about this. 2 ways you can believe. 1, it happens for a reason in the sense that it is predetermined. So because you do this, it's going to happen, and that's supposed to happen. Or it can have it could be reasonable to you. It can have reasons to you. It can mean something to you. So in that sense, yes, it can have meaning. It can happen for a reason. It's just cause and effect, literally, because this happened, that happens, and this is the reason for that happening. But something outside of this universe can already understand that that's what's going to happen because they're outside of the universe. They should be outside of time, meaning they can control time, manipulate time. So does free will exist? Yes, and possibly no. Yes, because we are, like, we literally just are. Life is, I don't know how to explain that. Like, we're just here, we're existing, present. So in the present moment, I'm gonna try to use, I guess I'll answer that question that I was gonna answer. I'll try to use this right here. You see this? This will represent the present time. Like, this is the present time. Anything on this side is the future. Anything on this side is the past. So this is us right here. So for example, we don't know what's coming in the future, but once it hits us, then it's the now. So every word I'm speaking right now, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what I'm going to say in the next 2 seconds, the next 3 seconds, the next 4 seconds, but I'm speaking currently. Like, my apologies. Like, I'm here. I'm just I don't know how to explain it, but if you know, you know. So everything is just memory, pretty much. So once it passes, it becomes a memory. It cannot be a memory if you have not experienced it yet. So hold on, let me get back to the question. I need to unlock my phone. But yeah, everything is a memory, so to speak. So that, if the whole free will thing exists right now, we're just doing what we do, and we can choose the route we're gonna take. But in a sense, something outside the universe already knows what route we're gonna take and what cause and effects happen. So we can go this route, we can go that route, and then it becomes a memory. It becomes something we know, we experienced, and of course we can get a reason for that. We can make a meaning for that. But again, if something is outside of this universe, to them, it's predetermined. For us, but we do not know that, because we do not know what is actually doing it, what is actually knowing, what is actually there, what made us. We don't know. So yeah, very confusing. Next is able. At what level do organisms start to have a consciousness? Do, for instance, ants or birds have consciousness? Do they have souls? I would like to think anything with a personality has a soul. Oh. Bro, I don't know why. Every time I'm about to record, nigga flying over my house. Alright, so back to your question. At what level do organisms start to have a consciousness? I do not know because I'm just human, I guess. I didn't even know when I had a consciousness. That would be up to scientific research and study to determine. But I will say there are two different things. I was at the aquarium the other day and I was looking at jellyfish. And I was looking at jellyfish and I was like, they have no brain, so to speak. You can't see a brain. You can't see anything that looks like that. But they have a mainframe, which is their nervous system. So how do they choose what they do? How do they navigate? How do they know what to do? And I came down to one thing. It's purely instinct and literally just the way they're designed. Certain things work for different organisms, certain things don't. Certain things work for humans, certain things don't. So ants, birds, and all that, a soul, this is my opinion, because we don't know what has a soul, what doesn't, or what a soul actually entails. Because get rid of all that spirituality stuff. We're talking about scientific stuff we have proof of, like definitive proof, not heavy faith or heavy cause and effect. Like, this happened after I wrote these affirmations, so this must be true. It happens all the time. No, I mean like definitive. We can touch, we can feel, we can see proof. Like that it's known to public. Like you can literally go online, see it right there, do it yourself. Cause like for spirituality, a lot of people aren't woke, so to say, that's what they call it. So if you if you don't have access to it in a face value, like you search it and it's right there, then yeah. So basically, I don't know about the souls things, but I personally believe anything with a personality has one. So a dog, a cat, it could be a bird, or certain types of birds, reptiles probably, because again, there's like pandas, for example. They're vegetarian, I believe, or vegan, so they don't eat meat and stuff, so they're not aggressive like other bears. So you can actually see their personality. They're pretty much dumb, but funny. They're clumsy. Some are more chill, or even bears. Not all bears are very aggressive, even if they're a brown bear. Dogs. How many of y'all have dogs that are weird, that just do weird stuff, but you have another dog of the same species that just don't do that? Like, everything has a personality. My rabbit, for example, Lolliet, this dude is so weird, man. Oh, I got the lint roller. Y'all like the lint roller, but it's gonna sound different because this is a mic, not a phone. But Lolliet, my pet rabbit, he is very nosy. He is up in everyone's business. All he do is eat. He breaks every toy he gets. He just eats his toy. Like, literally, it's not edible, but he eats it. He doesn't swallow it per se, but nigga bites it up and he just chews it, and he's destructive. And he be jumping around the house. He just jump and he kick his legs up, and then he just stare at you for a couple seconds, and then run behind you and then kick up. And bro's weird, bro. And then you put a carrot and he forgets about everything. Y'all saw the video I made with him. So yeah, hold on. All these planes and stuff, bro. Y'all hear all this? I had to blow my nose. Got a little cold or something, or allergies, I guess. But yeah, the soul thing, I don't know. Consciousness is different from a soul, I'd say, in my opinion, because again, like jellyfish, their consciousness isn't like being self-aware. Maybe that is what it entails, being self-aware. So I guess we can say that if you're self-aware, you have one. But are ants self-aware? We don't know. We're not ants. They go off instinct. They do everything for their queen. So I don't know. Next is Sinister Kid. What's the best life advice you've ever been given, and how did it change your perspective on things? I don't know, because I've gotten a lot of life advice. I like a lot of philosophy, and I like the quotes and stuff like that. So I've learned a lot of things. I literally learned a lot from anime as well. Like, stop sleeping on anime. Like, you dead ass get a lot of good info. But the one thing that I remember that I think about often was the last piece of advice was, you have a set of problems. You want to know how to solve it, right? Or stop worrying about all these problems. Write down a list of all the problems you have, cross out the ones you can't control, and focus on the ones you can control. It's very simple if you think about it like that. If it is out of your control, you can't do anything about it. Why are you wasting time and energy on it? Some things are just unfair, but you have to accept that. So, cross out all the things you cannot control, and now you have less, and you can work on that, and you can control it. So yeah, and you can also probably put yourself in better positions. So you don't necessarily need to control something, but you can have a better outcome. So yeah, next is JC. I find it fascinating how we perceive things and our perspective in situations. If I'm having a conversation with someone, they are looking at me and I'm looking at them. Same exchange, but different points of views. Funny how the exact same event can happen completely different depending on the perspective. I believe that's just like a thought, not really a question. So yeah. Next up is Big Papa Magoo. Nice name. Are people better than others? How is it determined? Can we ever truly attach a level of importance and worth to any being, much less to a human? Much less a human person. So, for one, how are we better? How are some people better than others? Personally, I would say no one is better than anybody. We're all imperfect beings. We are all vile creatures. But we can be good in the eyes of people we make feel good. So I wouldn't say people are better than others. I feel like the whole better thing depends on how you make someone feel. If it's something very lovely and positive and fulfilling, that is good. Yeah, not necessarily about, I don't know. You don't have to be a self-righteous activist type social justice no, you could just literally make people feel good, give to people, be altruistic. So yeah, but no one's better than anybody. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much fame you got. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care this or that. And this may be an unpopular opinion for y'all, but I don't understand why celebrity deaths mean the world is going to shit. At one point, there was a lot of rappers passing away left and right. What is going on in the world? Oh my gosh, everything is so... Nigga, all they do is do this. How does that make them better than you? Why is their death much more important than the homeless person you just saw the other day who probably committed suicide or who died or who starved? No one's talking about them. And they died, but the world doesn't change apparently. Oh, but when this person died and this person died, oh, now the world is going to trash. They're not better than anybody else just because of their status. They're the same regular human being who just have a lot of people who know them. That's it. They're just, let's say you're at the mall. A lot of people know you, but a lot of people don't know this person. That's it. It's no different from school, high school popularity. You got the cheerleader and the jock nigga. A lot of people know them. You got the funny dude. A lot of people know them. Are they any more important than the person who got all A's, the valedictorian? Because nobody's going to know the valedictorian until the very end when they get the speech. Then now more people know them, but less people know them. It fluctuates. So no one's better than anybody. Now, how is it determined? We determine it by our social and moral system that we have put into place. So basically, imperfect human beings determine what's perfect or imperfect. Interesting, right? Next is, can we truly ever attach a level of importance and worth to any being, much less a human person. We can, but that's relative. That's all what we decide, what we truly individually feel, and that's that. It's just us, what we feel. My hair getting all, bro, y'all see how long my shit getting? Does history actually, this is Ella J. Does history actually repeat itself? Or do people just say that? I'm gonna get a new sound for y'all. I don't know what to get. I'll get this box. Does history actually repeat itself? Or do people just say that? If so, what do you think we can do to stop it from doing so? History doesn't repeat itself, but patterns do. And if the universe is set on, I'm gonna use the what is it called? The simulation theory. If things are simulated, like if you simulate a video game, you have to have a pattern. You have to have a pattern for things to work. For example, let's say if someone coded this simulation, I don't believe that's what this is, but if someone coded this simulation to be able to code itself, like you code it and you let it sit and it codes itself and it progresses as it goes and it learns from its own experiences. So the simulation is forever growing because it's coding its own self. That is a pattern, and it will even develop its own pattern. So I believe everything runs off of pattern per se, but it's not that it actually repeats itself. Because, for example, there may be a catastrophic event and it may happen this way, but 10 years from now it happens a different way. Like viruses, for example, the Ebola virus and all these other stuff. They're very big pandemic, so to say, but this one is different from those. Hurricanes, this, that, economic stuff, like everything is the same in like the topic and subject. Like it could be economy and money. That's gonna happen again, but it may happen a different way. So it's a pattern. So it happens, but it's not the same. So next, David Toller, I think that's how you say it. What does it truly mean to grow up? I know a lot of people lead different lives, and it's always a mix between childish behavior and some type of maturity. So how would one know what being grown is? Again, that's relative of what the definition of grown is, besides the scientific definition of literally being an adult. Other than that, there's no extra meaning to growth or being grown or an adult. So what it means to truly grow up is literally just to experience things and learn. Think of it as an AI, a robot AI. You know, those ones on the computer you used to talk to when you were a kid. And it always says at the bottom, this AI is constantly learning. So when you speak to it, it learns more and learns more. And then it's developed, basically. Like that. You just develop. You just become developed mentally, emotionally, physically, and so and so. And yeah. And the childish behavior and all that, there's always childish behavior, no matter who you are. Even when you get really old, you revert back to being a child. So next up is Cal H. Character or plot analysis for some of your favorite stories. Talk about sleep. Anything even remotely relating to sleep. Explain quantum mechanics or something equally complex. I can explain, I guess, the fourth dimension and shit like that. Not spiritual shit. I explained it a long time ago. But I'm gonna be very simple with it. I guess I could explain that. That's not pretty much what you asked, but that's the only thing I feel is worthwhile to speak of that I actually have some substance. So the whole 1D, 2D, 3D, whatever. We're gonna start with 2D on the computer screen. Anime characters. I don't have any type of anime character picture or nothing. But look, let's say this is 2D, right? It's flat. The 2D character moves left, right, up and down on your screen. But that's it. They can't go out of it. They can't rotate. They can't spin around. But for example, if you're watching Attack on Titan, Mappa Studios recently started doing CGI on their Titans, which is now 3D. 3D. It's still 2D because it's on the screen, so it's flat, but we're 3D because we have all these shadows, all these shapes, our fingers, cylinders, and I don't know. We got all these different types of shapes and shit with, prisms. Like we have corners, we have vertexes, we have all of that, shades, shadows, all of that. But these niggas don't. So we cannot get onto their plane because we just can't. We're 3D. We cannot ever get onto the plane. And if we were, it would look like we're just coming out of thin air from bottom to top. It would literally look like we're phasing into, like, this is their dimension, this is ours. They would see our feet first, our legs first. They'll literally see us like look like motherfucking Build-A-Bear or some shit. And then someone who's fourth dimensional, that's way beyond that's way beyond us. It's like if y'all know what a tesseract is, it's going in and out of each other, it's moving around. We can't do that shit. So if anything were fourth dimensional, we cannot see it because we do not have eyes that can see those things. We only have eyes that process these shadows, these shapes, these things the way we do. So since we're a little more complex than the cartoon characters, we can see them from above, but they don't know we exist, even though they're fake. But y'all know what I'm saying. So something can be watching us and we would never know. But if they came here, if it were possible for them to make it to where they can physically come here, it looked like they're phasing from the ground up. It would look like the same exact shit. They just phase into from thin air. So yeah, basically that's what that is. And I'm not talking about no state of consciousness or being woke. No, I'm not talking about none of that bullshit. That's very loose because it's too much to talk about. So hopefully that scratches your itch. Next is Hesho. Oh, I might have to stop recording and then re-record because it's about to hit 30 minutes. What's a piece of literature, film, or TV show that taught you something valuable in life? Anime. Okay, next is MNG. What do you think about desires? I read on everything that wanting is. I read on everything. You put everything twice. That wanting is futile because it only leads to more wanting. And it made me wonder, why do we want? Why does everyone get something that and it's never enough? We always want more. Is it we just wish for power because as a society we decided the more we have power, the more powerful we are, or the more we have, more power? Or are we naturally wired like this because our brains are relying on emotions as we as humans like to feel? We like the serotonin that comes with wanting, or because it just fills our minds. So basically you're just saying, why do we want more? That's relative because I personally don't want more. All I want is peace, happiness, contentment, and financial stability. That is literally all I want. I don't care about being a freaking trillionaire. That is dumb. Nobody on earth should have that much money. That is insane. Why can one human being, one imperfect being who probably can't even control their own emotions, and they're thinking with their emotions, and they're just like, if someone calls them I don't know, slap nuts, and they get mad and start punching them, you can't even control your anger. So how are you so powerful? How do you have so much money? You can do this and that, and you're one imperfect being who can't even fix themselves. So I don't understand that whole power concept, because no one person should be able to buy your whole neighborhood. That's insane. That is insane. If that was me, I would help everybody's neighborhood and shit, simply because that's more beneficial to me along with other people. Because I don't know, it's just my mindset. But to answer your question, it's relative. We want more in the scope of what we want individually, like how I said, peace, financial stability, all that. That's what I want, and that's it. I guess you could say I want to travel, but that's not really wanting material things, physical things per se. So I don't know what you're referring to, physical or like, material, like, cars, money. I don't know if that's what you mean, or wants, like having wants, like any other being would have. But I'm gonna just assume material and stuff. And that's because someone wants what they can't have. How many times have you been out with friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, and they say they not hungry? You ask them, "Are you hungry?" "Nah, I'm not hungry." "Okay, so you go get you go get you some fries," and then they're looking over at you. "Can I have some fries?" "I thought you weren't hungry." They want it now because you have it. They want it because it looks enticing now. They want it because it's right there and you have it and they don't have it. But now they want a piece. It's just, I don't know. It comes with a lot of stuff. It can literally be wired. Some aspect can be wired, but not all. So again, like me, I don't want that much stuff from life. But someone else might. I don't know. Maybe it's complicated. Maybe I'm making it complicated. But yeah. Next is Miss Poop. I love that name. Miss Poop. If space is infinite and there is a possibility of there being an alternate universe in which where we could have we can be an alternative version of ourselves. You didn't really ask a question. You kind of stopped. You said if space is infinite in possibility. You didn't like come to like so I don't know if you want me to say, do I believe in it or not? I mean, recently they found out a particle, I guess you could say, or like a string particle or something that shows that there is an alternate timeline, but it's moving reverse from us. It's moving backwards. So that exists apparently, and it's moving backwards to ours. So do it with that information what you will. Next is Sunny. How much of what we see our parents do and how they raise us affects our love language and communication issues? Because as children, adolescents, we are like blank canvases with no paint on it, and we cannot paint it ourselves. Something else paints it for us, which is our parents, our environment. So this canvas is constantly being painted on, and it becomes us unless we find someone else to paint it. We learn something else that paints over it, that rewrites it, that rewrites the data. So let me go back to the question. So yeah, how much we see, I don't know. That's relative again. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody's malleable as much as someone else. So it's relative again. And of course, our parents and their love issues can affect ours. A lot of people from broken families with either no mother or father tend to seek out relationships that may not work out, or they may resemble how their father acts or how their mother acts, and it's subconscious. And yeah, so a lot of stuff affects us: environment, people, family, because we're children and we can't teach ourselves. We're not Aaron Yeager. We can't just go into the past and or future, just do this, do that. We can't do none of that. Sonny also asks, is death really supposed to be something we fear? Or is it a new beginning to heal the trauma, open wounds from our past lives? It's not supposed to be something we fear because it's inevitable and it's natural. That's just that. People fear it because they don't know what's on the other side of it. And yes, no matter how spiritual or religious you are, you do not know what's on the other side because you have not been there. It's like saying, oh, I know what's in Japan. They have the anime, they have the ramen, they have okay, but name it. Name the place. Name this place. Okay, what does it look like inside? Okay, what the bathroom look like? You don't know because you ain't been there. How you gonna tell me what the bathroom look like? You can't go on Google Maps and go inside their shop from Google Maps. Sure, you may have an idea, or you can label something, but you haven't been there, so you can't tell me every detail about it. So it's fearful for people because they can't comprehend that there's nothing after this, or that there is something but it's not this, because this is what they're used to. It's no different from anybody who's entering a shy kid entering high school for the first time. It's a whole new world that they're so nervous, anxious. They don't know. Fear comes from fear comes from being anxious, because it's like it's the fear of not knowing something, pretty much. So it kind of, I don't know. But anyways, next up is KLOL. Do you find it crazy that 2012 was 10 years ago? No. Next is Elite Bro YouTube. A burger is very unhealthy as it has meats which provide proteins which give off toxics and kills you. Eating fruits can let you live for at most 30 years. Most animals live for 30 years. Be normal, the vegan teacher. I see what you're trying to say, but like a burger isn't just meats and proteins that helps us, and it's toxic, and it's McDonald's. It's McDonald's. They're not filleting and doing this and flipping, and they're not actually like making it healthy. They're just throwing the patty and throwing this on there, barely cooking, barely cleaning the grill off. Like, it's McDonald's, bro. A burger can be very healthy if you make it at home, and vice versa. Next, my camera might die soon, so I might have to stop this recording and come back to it later. So, Bunny ASMR, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? I don't care. That seems very but I personally don't care. I'm just doing what I'm doing, and since it's in video format, it's going to be left behind, and it's going to help people, and that's good. I just don't care. I just don't care. I don't fight me. Okay. Next is Kami. How do you think humans will go extinct? By ourselves, like we will cause our own extinction before the planet does, like with volcanoes and all that. We're effing up our environment. We're ruining the economy. We're fighting each other. We're starting wars. Like, we made nukes. Why did we make nukes? Who are we fighting? Godzilla? Why are you making a nuke to blow up a whole section of the world? That has nothing to do with the issue. They are mad at the niggas in the White House, or the dudes in the Soviet, or this or that. So they blow up everybody. What? That's some GTA logic. Because in GTA, if somebody kills me, makes me mad. I don't care what's going on. If you're shopping inside a store, I'm blowing the store up. But yeah, it's GTA. So why are they using GTA logic? Who are y'all fighting? Why do y'all need a nuke? Let's be for real. The plane. Hold on. But yeah, let's be for real. Who are y'all fighting? Who? That nuke destroys continents. Who? That big are you fighting? A Gundam? Optimus Prime? Optimum Pride? Who are y'all fighting? So we will make ourselves extinct. Next is Sarah J. Are people ever truly selfless, or are they helping others so that they consciously feel like they're a good person, good friend? Yes. Okay, so the camera has stopped because it's getting too hot, but I will answer this question and I will be back later. So to answer the question, enjoy the picture on the screen. Yes, we are not selfless. No, we are selfless. That does not come naturally for us. We are selfish by nature. We have to unnaturally make ourselves selfless, and actually have to cognitively put that and instill that. And like, we literally have to manually put that on manual to be selfless. But by nature, we're just caring for ourselves. We're playing our video games when we want to. We're sleeping when we want to. We're doing this when we want to. We're eating when we want to. We buy this when we want to. But we're disregarding other things and other people and other times. And so yes, that's my answer. Yo, I'm back. So now we are going to continue. And Yeah, some of these I'm gonna skip because they're not part of the question that I asked. They're just like regular questions, like Q&A. So, does my cat have dandruff? Okay. Anyways, next up is Pearl. Is it possible to have a casual sexual relationship with someone, or do feelings and complications naturally develop from sharing that much intimacy with another person? I personally believe complications develop from possessiveness because you feel that you own some part of that person, whether it be their time, their energy, their love, their effort, them. You believe that that is yours and you are entitled to it. So in any event they go and talk to anyone else or do this or do that, that is not under your consent or your liking. And there's issues, aka, the label with relationships and all of that. So people can do that, but I personally wouldn't because, a lot of people are not clean and have some type of self-reflecting where you do not need sexual energy for something casual. Not everyone may agree, but like, come on, bro. You're not about to see the Karl off rip or nothing, or just this person go see this person, because the value goes down. Okay, if everybody got the same Nikes, nobody gonna want them Nikes. But that one person who don't got them Nikes, people will want. All right. Anyways, next is I don't know how you say your name, but what would life be like if suddenly overnight you were the only human on Earth? What would you strive for? I'd be happy. I'm not gonna lie. Well, maybe a little sad that some close people are not around, but I can live with that. I do whatever the hell I want. As long as cable and anime is still there. Of course, there won't be new anime because I'm the only person, but there's so many anime I haven't seen. I got a catalog. As long as there's Wi-Fi. And yeah. Only issue is animals may go rampant and get loose from their zoos and shit. So I'm gonna have to literally be out in the wild like George the Jungle. So next is Iona. I think that's how you say it. Is an action right if the intentions were good at heart, or if it positively affected people? What constitutes a good act? How can we determine when to do a good act if it is necessary? If doing good for one person leads to something bad for another. That is called expense and or sacrifice. You do something at the expense of this, or you sacrifice something for this. Now, good and bad. There's no good and bad. That's something we came up with. Morals. Again, even like if you really to sit here and think, all biases out the way. Killing, robbing, all of that stuff is morally bad because we made it morally bad, socially bad. Way back then, they would just well, not shoot, but they'll throw spears. They would take your life if they wanted something, and nobody seemed to have an issue with it. But as empires were built and rules were adjusted, there was like, you can't do this, you can't do that, and a lot of people agreed because like, who want to walk down the street and then just spear in your neck? You know what I'm saying? So we made we made every moral to society, pretty much. And yeah, so again, like, you making someone feel good is all that matters, I guess, as long as you're doing it within reason. And of course, intentions are pretty much everything, I guess, because you can be nice to someone for the wrong intentions. You can be nice so you can get something. Sure, it may not hurt them, but the intentions aren't for that person. Sure, you're making them feel good, but you're not doing it to make them feel good per se. You know they're going to be feeling good, but you're doing it for you. So it's not necessarily wrong or bad, but like, again, intentions tell intentions and meaning behind something. So that, I guess that will constitute what's good or bad is your intentions behind it, what you really mean for what you mean to happen and what you want to happen versus what you do. It's all an act. You can fake a lot of stuff, but how you really feel, you can't change that. You can't change what you really feel and think, because that's internal. That's engraved. So I guess you can go off that. Sunny also asks, if happiness has no value without pain, what value does pain have without the happiness? It coincides with each other. You gotta have one to have the other. Literally it. One has to, they literally value off each other just by coexisting. And if one doesn't exist, then there's no value. Maybe, again, it's relative. In someone else's eyes, it can have value or it can be valuable. But that's what I think. Next is LE4CHE. I don't know how you want me to say it. Leche. I don't know. The best kept secrets are hidden in plain sight or in a book. How many situations or books hold the key to all our unanswered questions about life and reality? I do not know, because I have not read every book, and I do not know every key, and I do not know every secret. So I do not know. Next, I'll blow my nose. Hold on. I got manners, okay? I'm not gonna be blowing in all of that in your faces. Okay, next. So my mic has changed, so I'm going to be talking to the camera because I do not have the patience to deal with technology right now. So you're gonna hear some lo-fi from the camera, and I will make sure I get up and close so I can whisper or talk or something and you'll be able to hear. And I'm gonna end this video very soon since it seems like it's going downhill. So let's find the best questions, and yeah. Y'all just gonna have to sit here with me. Some of y'all going through some personal stuff. Y'all talking about if your boyfriend tells you he don't like your haircut. What? How is that philosophical? These are, bro, there's so many, bro. There's so many questions, bro. I didn't know there'd be this many questions, because every time I used to do these videos, it would not be this. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. Okay, now a lot of these are starting to get a little spiritual, so that's not really, I'll answer this one as my last question because this video's going down. Are you happy with life right now? No. And I haven't been for years. So, with that being said, I hope you all enjoy this video. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you can take something new from it. And I will see y'all when I see y'all. I apologize for this. And yeah. Okay, I was just thinking about if I should cut something out or something in the video, but we'll see what happens. If you're seeing this and it just seems like there's an abrupt cut, because there is. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Thank you for watching, and peace.